Hello friends, welcome to Let's Shoot Accountancy. Till now, in ratio analysis, we have completed liquidity ratios, capital structure ratios, and in previous session we had started with coverage ratios, in which we studied two coverage ratios, that is debt service coverage ratio and interest coverage ratio. So if you have missed those sessions, please check that out. Today, we shall move on to the last two types of coverage ratios, that are preference dividend coverage ratios and fixed charges coverage ratio. Also, at the end of this session, we will summarize all four coverage ratios. But before we go ahead, friends, if you are new to this channel, please do hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get the updates of all new videos uploaded. And yes, do visit our website www.letsshoot.com to see our other online courses available at very affordable prices. So let's start with the first ratio for today's session, that is preference dividend coverage ratio. This ratio deals with the financial capability of the company to make fixed dividend payments to its preference shareholders. This ratio establishes a relationship between earnings after tax and preference dividend. For this, we first need to understand the concept of preference dividend. On the matter of payment of dividend and repayment of capital, the preference shareholders carry the preferential rights over the equity shareholder. That's why preference dividends are paid before equity dividends. These dividends are also treated as fixed payments, as they are similar to debt related payments and are paid periodically. What differs is that debt related payments are less risky to the investors, as they are paid irrespective of how much is the company's earnings, whereas preference dividend, though fixed, are appropriation of profits and can be paid when company has enough profits. So let's see the formula of calculating preference dividend coverage ratio. To calculate this ratio, we divide the net profit or earnings after tax of the company for the year by annual preference dividend amount. For that, we need to find out the annual preference dividend amount, which is derived by multiplying the annual dividend rate with the par value of the preference share capital. Moreover, here the net profits are considered after tax, as dividend payments are appropriation of profits and not a charge on profits. So dividends are paid after making necessary tax payments. Hence, this ratio tells us the number of times a company can make preferred dividend payments with its earnings, which helps us to analyze whether the company is doing well or whether it is profitable or not. If the company has sufficient profits to pay dividend, it is deemed to be doing well. This example will help us understand it better way. The details of company's share capital shows the par value of preference share capital of 3 lakhs with the dividend rate of 12%, which gives us the preference dividend amount of 36,000. The earnings after tax is amounting to 78,000. Thus, we get the preference dividend coverage ratio of 2.17 times by dividing this post-tax income by preference dividend amount. Thus, this ratio tells us that the company can cover preference dividend payments 2.17 times with its current earnings, which shows that it is doing financially well. A higher ratio is desirable from preference shareholders' point of view. A low preference dividend coverage ratio would show that the company would make a default in its preference dividend payment. This would require further assessment of the financial statements of the company with the help of other ratios to judge its financial position, because it would be very unwise to just rely on this one ratio, as the company may decide to defer the preference dividend payments to the next period in case of temporary fluctuation of funds. However, a consistently low ratio for a substantial period of time would show signs of red flag. Investors or potential investors use this ratio to study the level of risk involved in terms of receiving income from their investment. A healthy ratio would mean a steady inflow of dividend income, whereas the opposite would mean negative impact on valuation of shares. So we hope this preference dividend coverage ratio is quite clear to you. Moving on to the last type of coverage ratio, that is fixed charges coverage ratio. Just like the rest of the coverage ratios, This ratio also measures the company's ability to pay its obligation of fixed debt payments, which includes principal loan repayment, that is installment, and interest. It stands as an indicator of company's solvency. So fixed charges coverage ratio is equal to earnings before interest and tax, that is EBIT, add back depreciation divided by interest plus principal repayment of loan divided by 1 minus tax rate. So this ratio calculates how many times interest and principal, that is installment, is covered from the earnings. And also over here we add back depreciation in the numerator since it has been deducted while calculating EBIT, but it is a non-cash expense. So that much cash is still there with the company, right? And in denominator, we consider fixed debt payments, that is interest and installment gross of tax, since the numerator is also before tax. Hence, this ratio shows how many times the cash flow before interest and taxes covers all fixed financing charges. Let us understand this ratio and why installment gross of tax is considered. Suppose a company has cash earnings before interest and tax, that is after adding back depreciation, of 1000, and the company has to repay the loan amount consisting of principal amount of 800 and interest of 200. Will the company be able to pay this? Friends, the answer is no. Since from cash earnings before interest and tax of 1000, firstly, company will pay interest of 200, and then from cash earnings before tax of 800, company has to pay tax. Suppose tax comes to 240, so earnings left after tax would be 560, which are insufficient to pay the principal amount of 800, correct? So here we can see interest can be paid from EBIT, but the cash left for the repayment of loan will be after payment of tax. Hence, in our formula, we divide repayment of loan by 1 minus tax rate, which tells us how much amount would be required by the company to repay its debt. And therefore, it can be summarized that higher the ratio will be better in terms of number of times the company can cover its fixed liabilities. We hope you all are getting this, yes? So let's find the fixed charges coverage ratio from the given example. Here, earnings before interest and tax is 24,000, depreciation is 11,000, and tax rate applicable is 30%. Also, the loan detail shows interest is 6,000 and installment amount is 17,500. So now people, try calculating fixed charges coverage ratio. You can pause this video and try by yourself. Now, when we substitute these figures in our formula, the fixed charges coverage ratio comes to 1.13 times. We hope you all also got the same answer, yes? Friends, this depicts that the cash earnings before interest and tax can cover 1.13 times the fixed liabilities towards the debt of the company, which is considered safe for the lenders of the company. Hence, higher the ratio, the better is its financial position and the easier it is for potential lenders to extend their financing. This ratio more than 1 is considered safe. So now we are done with all the coverage ratios. But before we end up, let's summarize all the coverage ratios quickly. Firstly, the coverage ratios indicate the ability to serve fixed liabilities of the company. When we say ability, it means earnings of the organization to pay fixed long-term liabilities, which mainly consist of debt and preference dividend. Here, debt will include interest and principal repayment. Now let's see all 4 coverage ratios quickly. First, debt service coverage ratio, for which we need to take net operating income, that is profit after tax, to which we add back interest and depreciation, divided by debt payments, that is interest and installment. This ratio helps to find out how many times it covers interest and principal installment payment. The second, interest coverage ratio, which is derived by dividing EBIT by interest. This indicates the ability to meet interest obligation, that is, how many times Interest can be served out of EBIT. Third one is preference dividend coverage ratio. Now since the preference dividend is paid out of net earnings after tax, so the formula is earnings after tax divided by preference dividend. This ratio tells us how many times preference dividend obligation can be served. And the last one is fixed charges coverage ratio, which is calculated as EBIT at depreciation divided by interest and installment amount divided by 1 minus tax rate. This ratio helps to find out how many times fixed charges of interest and installment can be covered out of the cash flows before interest and taxes. So friends, this marks the end of the coverage ratios, and we hope that these all ratios are very clear to you all. Basic understanding and knowledge of income statement makes it very easy to calculate all the coverage ratios, where we need to know from which earnings which fixed charges are paid and how many times those charges are covered. Ratios like this serve as a key metrics for analysts, investors and lenders to make better decisions. In the next session, we have yet another interesting category of ratios waiting for us, that is activity ratios. We shall learn more about them next time. If you liked our session, do like, share and comment, and yes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get the updates of all our upcoming videos. You can also get access to our online courses and avail all the benefits at very minimum price by pressing the join button. So friends, see you all in the next session. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.